Patricia Masur!
Whoa! Okay, before we get started, I know there's some HR people in the crowd. This is HR night before Christmas. Before we get into the material, I am looking for a job. It's not part of the material. I just want you to keep that in mind. If you like what I'm putting down, consider me. Seriously, reach out. Send me, say, use my name. Send in an application. I'm looking for a job. I am. I have 2 advanced degrees. Listen, this is the most airtime I've gotten with an HR recruiter in a long time. So I'm going to take it. The applications aren't going through. AI is fucking me over. I'll tell you a little bit about what happened was I quit my very stable unionized government job. Did you know that it's a bad time in the economy to do that? And that under no circumstances you should quit your very stable unionized government job to go to Toronto to go to film school at 28. There's no circumstances in which you should do that, especially because when you get there and say that your favorite movie is Harold and Kumar Escape from Guantanamo Bay, and everyone else's favorite movie is Lady Bird for some reason, you're going to look like an idiot. And you're going to end up back here. I miss that job so much. I worked for public safety. I was a policy analyst. I had a great time. But when you quit a job, there's no better feeling, right? Like quitting a job is top 3, one of my favorite hobbies on earth. I remember what I was wearing each time I quit a job. I remember where I took myself for lunch after. And I'm usually good at my jobs, but I do love to burn a bridge. I do love to leave and say, I'm never coming back. There's going to be no option. But I miss crazy things about this job. And if you work for the government, you shouldn't hate your job. It's stupid to hate your job when you work for the government because every rumor is true. You don't do a whole lot. You sit in an office and you go, clack, 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 sincerely. That's what you do day in, day out. It's awesome. The hardest thing you'll do is try to figure out how to get your benefits to cover Reiki. That's sort of the hardest thing you'll have to do. And guess what? They'll cover it. But I miss crazy things about it. Like I miss my coworker, Dave, who would describe daily symptoms of depression, but call it aging. I love that. I thought that was a nice vibe. And I worked in drug policy, so I was constantly learning new things day in, day out. I learned why the windows in office buildings don't open the entire way, right? Because I would have killed myself. Which ultimately I think could have been really good for the government's PR strategy because it would have been the first time a government worker had a real life impact on someone. So it could have worked out, hey? Hey, we need something to unify us as a nation. Elbows up, patty down. That's what we're doing. And it was a big deal for me to have this job. I'm the youngest of 5 raised by a single dad. I was the first kid to graduate high school. Thank you. They're not doing it all the time, are they? They're not. Round of applause if you were raised by a single dad. See, they're not doing it. They're really not stepping up all the time. And I do think it's beautiful, but I am here to say that it should never happen again. Right? I'm the youngest of 5, single dad. And next door to us was another man, single dad, 7 kids. Right? Crazy, right? And we lived in Satlam, which if you're not familiar, is on the old highway outside of Duncan into Lake Cowichan. Someone from the island just going, oh no. Which means it's the vortex of a shithole. It's 2 shithole. And people always say the best place to raise kids, side of an old highway. Put them there. But you have 12 kids in the same age range on the side of an old highway without a mother in sight? That's an evil vibe. We lit our brother Richard on fire twice. You understand? My dad's grow up burnt the house down once. You can only really do that once, hey? One house, you only get one chance. Single dad is a different sort of upbringing, especially because I think my dad, so a little bit about my dad. Even though I look like I think this is a poetry slam, I was raised traditionally a redneck. That's where I come from. I think I was raised by good rednecks, though. Like, they understand pronouns. They just don't believe in celiac disease as a real thing. They like to ride that line. So my dad was a redneck. He was a drug dealer, which is why me working in drug policy was sort of a full circle for the family. Right? How many people get to grow up and become daddy's little narc? Hey? For the Masurs of Satlam, British Columbia, that is a big deal. Thank you. But he was also, gay. He was gay. So we have Redneck, drug dealer, gay. Obviously, I don't take issue with any of those things individually, but I do think all together it's sort of a lot. It's a lot for one guy, right? So much. And sometimes he gets nervous for me pursuing comedy. He's like, I just don't know. That seems like a hard life. I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like being a single dad, gay, drug dealing in the 90s. Much harder, hey? Not only did you have the cops after you, but PAC didn't like you a whole lot either. You had the PAC moms going after you. That's even worse than the couch in RCMP. Yeah, I love my dad. I think he is a good guy. He does do, he's insane, I think. Like, he's never understood a social cue in his life. A lot of people are confused about how my dad had kids because he's gay. The thing is, sexuality's fluid, I guess. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I think what happened is, so my mom and dad met in a very classic romantic way. He was fixing her fridge, which I think is fun for a man who's gay, because that's a very heteronormative storyline, right? Guy goes over to fix a fridge. What, you acting like you've never watched porn before? The fuck? Why does everyone get weird about that? It's a very straight activity, a very straight way to meet a woman. Go over to her house to fix something, and then suddenly you have 5 kids? Whatever. That's how they met. That's how they met. And my mom tells the story. She was 19. She had 2 kids. I told you where I come from. I'm redneck white trash, I think. I think that's sort of where I am. But she was 19, had 2 kids, and she says he was fixing her fridge, and she was cooking a roast, and she pulled the roast out of the oven. And for some reason in this story, she always says, and I was wearing high heels. And I go, okay, that's really, okay, whatever. And then she'll also say things to me like, you know when you try to gain weight, but you can only gain weight in your wrists? And I'm like, okay, thank you. Is that why Child Protective Services took me away from you? Right? I think this was a better fit with my dad. But, you know, she says she knew he was into her because when she took the roast out of the oven, he stared at it for a very long time. And I said, no, he's just food motivated. That's all he's got going on. Let's move on out of this. I'm from the island, right? I love the island. I think I'm meant to be there. But I legally had to move here because I beat Tinder, like I finished it. There's a certain point where the app turns red and goes, scram, you loser! And so you end up over here. I went on a terrible Tinder date the other night. And at the end, what pissed me off was we were leaving, and he was talking a lot about chivalry. He also is the vice president of Arc'teryx, so has a lot of money. This is important context. Important context for the story. He gets in an Uber and just drives away while I walk down the highway in the darkness. And I was like, where is all this chivalry? Also, $7 for an Uber isn't going to kill you to send me home. But I was thinking about it, and I was like, if I were a man, I would make sure every single woman got home safely after dates. I would follow her home to make sure she got home safely. Okay? I'd follow her home. Maybe I'd wait outside to see if she needs anything. Okay? Maybe I'd climb up in a tree so I could get a better eye line on her, right? And I wouldn't disturb her while she's awake. Maybe I'd check on her while she's sleeping, right? Maybe I have a knife on me for intruders. Maybe I put the knife to her throat so she knows it's sharp for intruders. Have you ever had a friend and they get a dog and you're like, you should not have gotten that dog, right? I had an experience recently where my friend got a dog and I was like, oh, I'm so grateful you got that abortion 6 months ago. Right? Because you should not be raising... That was mean. That was really mean. It was mean. It was fucked up to say. Thank you. You said, thank God you're pro-choice, hey? I'm a late bloomer in life. Anyone else? Thank you. What that means is I'm 29. I learned how to come 3 years ago. Awesome. Thanks. Let me finish. Am I right? Let me get to it. And I think it's, you know, it's not a big deal. I can do it all the time now. It's not an issue. I had to quit my job. I was busy, okay? I didn't have time for a 9 to 5. 8 to 4, jerking my gherkin, okay? 4 to 10, coming up with a new euphemism for jerking my shit. But I also think it's different for men versus women. Men get really weird about that. They're like, when you tell them that you're new to coming or whatever. I think it's just different. Because I could yell at a man's dick, and if I yelled long enough and hard enough, I could make him come. Doesn't even matter what I'm yelling. I'm down there going, ah! And you're coming. He's not laughing because he's coming. Okay? It's a different situation. For me, I had to see a psychiatrist to learn how to come. Okay? I had to understand attachment theory before they would let me come. Okay? Different scenario. I also think it's a class issue. I think I wasn't raised in the right tax bracket to be able to come before the age of 26. Okay? Yeah, so if you're not with me, you're classist. I was raised on a well water system in Satlam, British Columbia, folks. I simply didn't have the water pressure to come before the age of 26. Okay, thank you so much. Have a lovely night.